These stories is to give you an idea on how these things happen, how they can be prevented, and also what you're in for if you get grabbed by a crocodile. Right? Now, this story happened up in Cape York Peninsula years ago. Now there was a family camping up there. Now, for the most part, the family was doing everything right. They were camping 50 metres away from the higher tide line, which is what we tell people to do. Some people, fly North Queensland, they come to a camp spot, they can see the water 50 metres away, they say this is fine, But we have some pretty insane tides up here. So you set up your camp, middle of the night, the camp is underwater because the tide's coming. You need to figure out where that high tide line is and go at least 50 metres away from that is what we recommend. Right, guys? So this family was doing that. They were camping away from the water's edge. The one mistake they made is that they'd been fishing early in the day and they kept some fish scraps to use as crab bait the next morning. Right, guys? So they brought the boat into camp and they left the fish scraps up in the boat. Now, in the middle of the night, a crocodile bigger than Hagrid presumably could smell these fish scraps and it strolled into camp looking for them. But the fish scraps are up in the boat, crocodile couldn't find them. Right? It did find the next best thing though. This crocodile found a little old lady sleeping in a one-person tent with the door wide open. Right? This crocodile walked up, grabbed her and the tent, and started walking them both back to the water. Now, apparently this caused her some distress and she started freaking out and woke up one of the blokes who was camping there with her. Right? Now, this bloke was a young local Aussie bloke. He just woke up, had no idea what was going on, but he saw what was happening. He didn't even think twice. He dove on the crocodile, he drove his thumbs into its eyes. The crocodile let her go, spun around, bit him on the arm and broke his arm, but it then retreated back to the water. He saved her life, he's a hero, no doubt about it. Okay, guys, but there is a bit of a sick and twisted ending that happened a couple of weeks later. So a couple of weeks later, they're getting interviewed. It's a massive crocodile survival attack story. The news wanted to hear all about it. Now, during the interview, the woman, she couldn't have looked happier. Massive smile on her face, standing there with the bloke who saved her life. She was happy as Larry. You know what I mean? He, on the other hand, he stood there the entire interview with his arms crossed, and he looked a little bit disappointed with himself. And this is when they revealed that this guy was a young local Aussie bloke who got up in the middle of the night, in his undies, he risked his own life, copped the broken arm, and successfully saved his mother-in-law. That's what we call a missed opportunity, right? Sometimes it's better to let nature take its course. I was asleep last night, I didn't hear a single thing. You know what I mean? So, a big reason that was a survival story is because it happened up on land. That's a massive benefit for you in the first place. If a crocodile gets you on land, they're not as comfortable up on land. They want to get you back in the water, so they were pretty lucky that it happened there. But if that crocodile had got that woman in the water, could almost guarantee it's game over. As soon as they get you out there, guys, especially out in the river, they can take you wherever they want, and you're not going to find that crocodile, that person before it's all over, unfortunately. So it can be quite sad, but also just don't do silly things up here. You stay away from the water, guys, and you will never have one of these things trying to kill you. It's been so creepy right now. Because again, guys, you wouldn't want something like this cracking out and having a launch, especially when they get so much bigger than this as well. He's really creeping me out today, guys. But very shortly, I'm going to get him to chase me out the gate. I'm going to chuck a bit of